Good morning, RESET22. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. This has been awesome. I'm really excited moving into, well, we're already into it, our third week here. And I'm coming today. We've already talked about it a little bit. Again, my name is Des. Today is our exercise portion. I'm a personal trainer and we are at my studio right now. I live in Huntington, West Virginia, and I have a private personal training studio. And today we're going to talk about, which we already have a little bit, but we're going to talk about strength training. So this is super important. Again, I have a few graphics and things in the ebook that we gave to you all, but strength training is super important. A lot of times people think like, I just want to do cardio because I want to lose weight. Well, strength training helps you reach those goals as well. So the more muscle mass you have on your body, will actually help you burn more calories. So it's super important to help maintain muscle mass. And again, we discussed, we discussed this a little bit last week. So another thing I wanted to mention, what strength training even is. So it is any body, it could be a body weight exercise because you are using your weight against the forces of gravity, right, to make it difficult for you. So it could be push-ups, squats, any adding weight in, whether it's a dumbbell or a barbell, stepping up onto something, right? You're putting pressure on that single leg. And then of course you have machines, cables, and bands. There's honestly, the options are endless. We could talk about this forever, but I know you don't want that. So I just want to bring that, kind of highlight that to know that strength training is really important for your maintaining muscle mass, adding muscle. Toning is what most women call it, but it's really just building muscle. Toning is the same thing as building muscle. So another thing I wanted to bring out and mention that a pound is a pound, right? Sometimes you've probably heard people say, or maybe we've even said it ourselves, that muscle weighs more than fat. That is not true. A pound is a pound. It doesn't matter if it's feathers or stones, right? Fat or muscle mass, a pound is a pound. But what is different is the volume of space that muscle and fat take up. Okay, so fat is looser. It doesn't have, it's not smooth, right? So you imagine, we've all seen that in most gyms. I don't have one here, but the fat, 5 pounds of fat takes up like this much space and it doesn't look pretty, right? And then the 5 pounds of muscle, of course, they both weigh the same, but it takes up less space and is much smoother and denser than fat is. So that is the big difference when it comes to muscle weighs more than fat, is that it just takes up a different amount of space. So a lot of times, especially for the ladies on here, we probably see what certain people do as far as physical activity, and we think, oh, they must do a lot of cardio. More often than not, depending on what you want and what your ideal look is, and also talking about how we feel, right? Exercise isn't just about how we look, but how we feel. It's really important to do that strength exercise. Toning or building the muscle is so important. That is typically the look that you want. I don't say this to everybody, but we've probably heard that term, skinny fat. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but you can be thin and have no muscle mass. Really, the majority of your body weight, low muscle mass, the majority of your body weight is fat. So you really want to have a pretty decent composition where the percentage of your body fat, ideally below 25 for a typical woman, should be your body fat percentage, 25% of your body. And for men, of course, they aren't built with fat pockets like us ladies are for birthing babies and other things, but men can have a lower body fat. For men, it's usually, for a fit man, it's anywhere between usually like 22 down to 12 really. But what I wanted to do today is just show you some of the strength training exercise or strength training things I have here in the studio. So I am going to flip the camera around and just take a little tour with you and explain some of the exercises you could do. So let's go. Let me see if I can turn this around. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to do a separate video. Let's see if it'll